babies, it's that time again. Oh yeah. We are in Revelation 20. Oh baby. As some of you know who have been following me, I kind of have a bittersweet relationship with the book of Revelation. One is because I love the images of reigning with Christ, because it mentions in the chapter being on the throne, ruling with Christ. What I'm not a fan of is the whole judgment. It's like, well, what are you on a throne for if you're not judging? Well, the judging is maybe like, well, according to your works, this is your reward. How about that? Instead of, oh, you didn't confess Jesus, we're throwing you in the lake of fire. I just don't buy that. Sorry. Maybe the lake of fire is reserved for Satan and his dominion. Yeah, that's about it. The rest of it, I don't get, because the grace of Christ, the mercy of God, and his goodness and his love and his reaching out just does not balance out with either eternal torment or destruction for those who miss the mark. It just seems way too harsh. In fact, the harshness came upon Jesus, didn't it? Wasn't that enough harshness? I think so. So I don't really have much to say about it other than that. It does mention in there about Satan being bound for 1,000 years and then released after the 1,000 years to see what kind of nonsense he can create one more time before ultimate destruction. I don't know. I don't know what to make of any of that. Send me your comments if you have ideas on this. Now, as I'm going through the Bible in its different concentrations, I'm thinking of like eventually never returning to certain passages. Like, for instance, practically the whole book of Joshua to me at this point seems like an entire waste of time, for the same reason I just mentioned. God showing his graciousness in fulfilling his promise to Israel by giving them the promised land after they mutilate and destroy every man, woman, and child in Canaan. Just doesn't sound like a God I'm interested in worshiping, and just sounds like a fairy tale. So that would be when I say passages, there might be certain parts of certain books I find to be a waste of time. I'll just never go there again. But I want to get through the whole book first so I know what to avoid and what to cherish. Yeah, baby. So when I say things like this, the Bible worshipers, they go, well, you're just cherry picking things that you prefer, blah, blah, blah. No. There are all kinds of verses that I cherish and honor as the Word of God that are really difficult passages, such as, pick up your cross daily and follow me. If you don't drink my blood and eat my flesh, you have no part in me. Hard passages like that, I'm not avoiding those because those sound legitimate to me. And they make sense of, overcoming my carnal thinking and being more spiritually minded and free in the spirit. I don't get that by reading about genocide. I don't get that by reading about ultimate destruction for those whose names are not written in the book of life. I see more mercy. I see mercy in my life changing me. Therefore, I assume that's because God is merciful. So I'm going to cherish and honor verses that show mercy. And so the balance with judgment is God looking at my life and loving me and being merciful enough to tell me, hey, you know what? Maybe we should back off on the alcohol for a while. That's a judgment. And that's a judgment I'm willing to accept because I see the value of replacing any forward-looking episodes with alcohol with just being in conversation with Jesus. Because sometimes, if I'm drinking alcohol, and I don't drink it to excess, but if I'm just a little happy from drinking alcohol, I'll tend to be less interested in what's God want me to do right now, because I'm just having fun. I don't want to say I don't care what God's saying, but it's not my highest priority. And so that's a problem. Now, there are places in the Bible where drinking wine is spoken of in a positive way. It's like associated with celebration and that type of thing. So, I'm not advocating complete abstinence from it, but definitely don't want to be in positions where I'm so looking forward to it that I'm minimizing or I'm neglecting what God is building in me, which is intimacy and a relationship. And then that gets kind of interrupted with my happy times. So I'm not saying I won't have any more happy times. I'm just saying to God, I'm going to put it away for now. And I'm going to wait for you to let me know when it's expedient for me to imbibe again, instead of just wallowing in the permissibility of it under the grace of God. Yeah, baby.